Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Johnny Vlogs. I'm John Lorden here with one of my favorite pals, R2D2. Some of my other toys. This edition of Johnny Vlogs is brought to you by Tracy Baldwin, who just became a Patreon supporter, or a patron as they're called. Thank you so much, Tracy. I truly appreciate that. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Scott, who actually edited his pledge and upped the amount that he's donating. Thank you, Scott. I truly appreciate each and every one of you Patreon supporters. If you saw the video last week about Bianca, you know that now I'm able to make donations to causes that I feel are worthy, and that is in a large part because of all of you great Patreon supporters out there. So thank you for supporting the show in that way. So this edition of Johnny Vlogs, we're going to cover a couple of odds and ends, but primarily I want to talk about radio appearances, and I really want to talk about it because tonight you can catch me on a show called Midnight in the Desert. And if you might or might not be familiar with that show, if you've heard of the radio host Art Bell, this is his old show. Now, he is no longer hosting it. He's kind of gone underground, but his producer has taken the show over, Heather Wade, and she will be hosting tonight, and the topic will be the holistic doctor deaths. So if you remember, I did a brain scratch about this. I originally covered the first doctor, Dr. Jeff Bradstreet, in his own episode, but then I did a episode where I kind of looked at this whole theory that there's holistic doctors being murdered and tried to prove or disprove that. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen the episode yet. But essentially that theory ties back to a blogger and YouTuber named Erin Elizabeth. And I've already done one radio interview where I kind of spoke about this a little bit. But when this second one was being lined up, I asked that they please try to get a hold of Erin, get her on the show so I could ask some questions. Maybe she could shine the light on some gaps in the knowledge that I have about this and make me see how this theory really comes together. So I'm extremely excited about it, a little bit nervous about it also, but I'm sure that it's going to be an interesting affair one way or the other. I believe we're going to be interviewed for a few hours. This should be a pretty big segment. It's one of those shows that runs into the night. However, they do have a website you can go to also. I will have links in the description box below so you can check out the website for Midnight in the Desert, but also for the Dark Matter Digital Radio Network, which is one place where you can catch it. It is also going to be on a bunch of terrestrial radio stations, so if you're local to some of those states, I think it's, from what I saw, it's got more than maybe 7 or 8 states that are going to be broadcasting it as well. You might be able to catch it live on the air, so very excited about that one. The other one is an interview I did for Germany, and this is actually for deutschlandradio.de, and the person I was dealing with there, his name is Heiko Bär. So any of my German fans out there, if you know of Heiko or deutschlandradio.de, that is where I will be popping up. That interview is a little bit about Elisa Lam, but honestly much more about Brain Scratch. I really liked the questions that he laid out. I don't have a time frame on when that interview is coming up yet. He said he would let me know, and I'm sure it's going to be available online as well. So I will post that information. I'll talk about it in an upcoming Johnny vlog when I know more about it. But I had many of you German viewers out there asking me for more details, so that is what I know about that one. And I had a podcast that I actually like, I listened to, and I really enjoyed. And I'm going to be reaching out to them. They were asking me for an interview once again about the Elisa Lam stuff. I kind of backed off of it because I had so many things going on between the move and then these 2 interviews. But I will be reaching back out to them, so know that there will be another radio interview coming up very, very soon. It's weird because I stress out a lot leading up to those interviews. There's a lot of prep work, and to do an episode of Brain Scratch, it's like I'm cramming a bunch of material in my head and then kind of regurgitating it out to you guys. And then it's strange that several months later someone will want to go back into one of those cases. So literally the day before I have one of these interviews, I have to re-prep, I have to look at all the old material, I look for new material on top of that so I can give the latest information. And then I'm usually just a little nervous wreck until like a minute after the interview starts, and all of a sudden everything just kind of disappears and it all becomes very natural. But by the end of the interview, I usually get a very good feeling. We've really come to some good points on some of these interviews. Once again, I'm just presenting the information I have. I'm looking for a better understanding, and it's really great that sometimes that will happen as a result of me speaking to other people about it and hearing other opinions come back. Imagine that. So very excited about tonight's, well, by the time you guys see this, it'll be on tonight, about tonight's interview. I hope it goes well. I really don't want it to be too confrontational or anything strange like that, but I do want to make sure that I have some kind of better understanding of what this theory is and how this theory all pulls together. And who knows, I might be championing, that's a tough word. I might be championing the cause myself after I'm through that experience. So I'm really looking forward to it and going into it once again, trying to reset my expectations. I know I've already researched this and I have a bunch of not hard, but very rigid questions that, I would like to find some more information about. But I'm really trying to reset my expectations, reset my bias on all of that, and see if I can get to the truth about what is going on with this theory about the holistic doctor deaths. Is there more to it than just a blogger, trying to whip up some attention, which is kind of where I was left at the end of my brain scratch, but we will find out. So that is it for this week. Of course, I've just been settling at home. You can see I've got all the toys out, finally getting this place in order. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but last week I've started using a green screen for a couple of my shows. I'm kind of playing around with that. I don't know what feels better to you guys. So if you have some input on that, please put it in the comments below. Some people sometimes feel like green screen things, of course they look hokey or they can look kind of fakey. I think I do a decent job with it, but other people prefer that there's just a natural background, that, hey, this is the YouTube format. They know that I'm not in some giant studio somewhere doing this kind of stuff. So I'm very curious to hear your input on that in the comments below. Outside of that, I hope each and every one of you out there is having a great week. Thank you for all the support last week, and I'm sorry about that brain scratch slipping a little bit, but I really wanted to get that extra episode of Searchlight out. It looks like you guys are still getting to that episode of Brain Scratch, so I think it all worked out, but it's not like me to slip the schedule like that, but ultimately it was just too important for me to get that new info about Bianca out. So take care, everyone. I will catch you next time on Johnny Vlogs. Have a great week.